Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We are in California, Anaheim Stadium to be exact. It is April the 30th. First game in the April 30th block, game number 145 overall. And it will be the Detroit Tigers taking on the California Angels. Pitching matchup, Jack Morris for the Tigers, Willie Fraser for the Angels. Fraser enters the game 2-1. Jack Moore struggling at 1-3. Ballpark effects for Anaheim Stadium: singles are 1-5, lefties and righties. Home runs 1-12. Pitcher catcher quotients: Fraser is a 0. Hello, Ben. Good to see you. Fraser is a 0 when he combines with the catcher Miller. Morris is a +3. He's a +2, and then Noakes is a +1, makes him a +3. Wild pitch is prevalent for both starting pitchers. Frazier's a 14 wild pitch and a 2 balk, while Jack Morris is an 18 wild pitch and a 2 balk. So wild pitches, if the devil die gets that one, which it has been known to do quite often, that can be a problem. Tigers enter the game 8-12. California enters the game 10-12. Hello, Larry. Good to see you. Let's go through the starting lineups for the Detroit Tigers. Leading off and playing right field is Pat Sheridan. Batting second, playing left field, is Billy Beane. Batting third at second base is Lou Whitaker. Batting cleanup at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Hitting fifth, the designated hitter, Darrell Evans. Batting sixth and catching, Matt Noakes. Center fielder batting seventh, Chet Lemon. Batting eighth is first baseman Dave Bergman. And batting ninth and playing third base is Tom Brookins. Those are the Detroit Tigers starting lineup. For the Angels, leading off and doing the designated hitting is Brian Downing. Batting second in right field is Devon White. At first base is Wally Joyner. He'll hit third. Batting cleanup at third base is Doug DeCense. Batting fifth, left fielder Jack Howell. Hitting sixth, the shortstop Dick Schofield. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Darrell Miller. Batting eighth, playing center field, is Gary Pettis. And batting ninth at second base is Mark McLemore. So in case you get memories of what these players look like, now you have a snapshot of briefly what they look like. All right. Let's get this game going. Hello, Chuck. Hello, Larry. Hello, Ben. Good to see all of you here. I did pre-record the Boston-Seattle game, so I'm going to put that out tomorrow sometime. But I had some time when I got home from work to do a quick game. Not enough time to do a live stream, but I had enough time to do a recording on it. So I recorded game 146 ahead of game 145. But that's going to be put up tomorrow during the daytime at some point. All right. So we are ready to get going. We will go over to the Strat computer and look at Fraser's full complete numbers. He's 2-1 with a 3.66 earned run average, 20 innings pitched, 23 hits, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. And there is the Willie Fraser card. All right. Pat Sheridan will be doing the leadoff hitting for the Tigers. On the replay, he's hitting .250, 2 homers, and both his runs batted in came off those 2 homers, 2 solo home runs. So game 145 is underway. It's 110 for Sheridan against a right-hander. 1-10 is a single. Anything else he lines to second, that's a 13. So he will line it to McLemore. And we're underway, 1 away. That'll bring up Bill Beane, or Billy Beane. Beane is hitting .286. No homers, 2 driven in. 3-5, and that's a fly ball to right field. Devon White will haul it in. Just like that, 2 quick outs for Willie Fraser. That's going to bring up Lou Whitaker. Whitaker hitting 267, 4 homers, 13 driven in. 6-6 left-handed. That's a 1-10 single. Anything else he lines to second? That's a 4. So Whitaker will get the 2-out single. And we'll see if he's interested in running. To get the lead, needs a 4 through 5. 4 or a 5, I should say. 4 or a 5. Pitcher-catcher quotient's a 0. So if he gets the lead, it'll be a 1-14. They think that's a good enough risk. So 4 or 5, he gets the lead. He does not, so he will hold. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter, Alan Trammell. Trammell hitting 378 in just 37 at bats. 3 homers, 8 driven in. He was injured at the beginning part of the season. 1-5, and that's a 1-15 home run. That's a 10. It's gone. Alan Trammell has done it again. Look at it again. 1-5 right here, right-handed. 1-15 is a home run. That's a 10. So it is long and it is gone. And the dynamic duo in Detroit, Whitaker and Trammell, combined for 2 quick runs after the first 2 were out. Home run number 4 for Alan Trammell. RBIs 9 and 10. And the Tigers grab a 2-0 lead. I'm going to bring up Darrell Evans. He's hitting 378. I'm sorry, no, I didn't. That was Trammell. I didn't do the computer. There we go. Now Darrell Evans hitting 183. He's been struggling. 3 homers, 7 driven in. 6-11, and that's a ground ball. First base X. That's Joyner. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. We're just looking at E9. And for a first baseman, the E9, 7, 14, 17, 3, and 18. And that's an 18, so that will be an error on Joyner, and it's going to be a 2-base error because we rolled an 18. So it's actually going to be a 2-base error on Wally Joyner. 2-base error will put Evans to second base. And that'll bring up the catcher, Matt Noakes, in a clutch situation. Noakes in the clutch against right-handers loses 2 hits at 2-6 and 2-7. Also loses a hit on 3-5, so definitely anti-clutch. But he is on the season hitting 207, but he does have 7 home runs and 16 driven in. So 6'10 left-handed. That's a catcher X. You're looking at Noakes. I'm sorry, not looking at Noakes. We're looking at Miller. He's a 4. 4 and a 15. Could be interesting for a catcher. 4 and a 15 is a P/F. And the error chances, he's an E13. There's a whole lot of error chances right here. That's a 6. E13, there is a 6 right here, a 1-base error. So we got a P/F with a 1-base error. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. P/F and a 1-base error. The catcher drops a foul pop-up for an error. Play resumes with the same batter at bat. So there you go. So it's an E2 on a pop-up. And I got to figure out how to put that on the Strat computer. See if I can somehow do this to credit him with an error on a foul ball. Never tried to do that before. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, it did it. Okay, it took it. Somehow it managed to take it. I don't know how. Somehow I figured it out. All right, so here's Noakes back in the box after the error, move Evans to third base. And Noakes steps in. 1-5, and that's a straight-up home run. Boy, it's not getting any better for Willie Fraser. 1-5 is a solo home or a 2-run home run right there. No doubt about it. For Matt Noakes, that is home run number 8. RBIs 17 and 18. These are unearned runs due to the error from Wally Joyner. So after getting the first 2 out, Fraser is having serious troubles. And it is now 4-0. Just that quickly. After the first 2 were out, it looked innocent, but now 4 runs are across the board. And Chet Lemon is your batter. Chet Lemon hitting 161. No homers, 5 driven in. It's a 3-6 for Lemon. That's trouble. 1-3 is a triple. That's a 12. It'll just be a single. But no, now Fraser can't get anybody out. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Bergman. Lemon, no threat to steal, will not be held. Bergman, 233 hitter, no homers, 3 driven in. 2-8 for Bergman, and that's more trouble. 1-9 is a double. Anything else is a single. It's a single, 2 stars, and that will move Lemon to third base. And now the 9th man to bat in the inning, Tom Brookins, steps to the plate with runners at the corners and 2 outs in a clutch situation. So Brookins in the clutch loses 2 hits here on 2-9 and 2-10. So he's got to avoid those on the anti-clutch results. But runners on the corners, 2 outs, nobody being held on. Brookins is hitting 288, 1 homer, 4 driven in. 5-7, ground ball shortstop X. That is Schofield. He's a 2E12. 2 and a 6 should be good enough to get to it. 2 and a 6 for a shortstop. It's a G2. So it would be a forced play, assuming there's no error. Schofield's an E12, so he's got to avoid 15, 3, and 18 to get out of the inning. And he does. So it's a good play, 6-4, fielder's choice to finally end the inning. But a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning in the first for the Tigers. 2 of them are earned. The other 2 were not. But they all count the same. And that out's going to go 6-4. So at the end of half an inning to play, it is the Tigers 4 and the Angels coming to bat. And one of the happiest guys around is Jack Morris. He comes in with a 4-0 lead before he throws the first pitch. So Downing will step in. But first we get the numbers on Morris on the replay. 1-3 with a 5.02 earned run average, 29 innings pitched, 28 hits, 9 walks, 21 strikeouts. He has given up 10 home runs in 29 innings of pitching. So that was his bugaboo. In real world, he gave up 39 home runs in 266 innings. So he's given up 10 already, 1 every 3 innings. So it's not a good ratio. All right, leading off of you, Brian Downing. He's hitting 360, 7 home runs, 22 driven in. It's a 4-8, and that is a strikeout. It's a good start for Jack Morris. But then again, so did Fraser. He's had a good start too, but saw what happened to him. Here's Devon White, right fielder, hitting 242, a homer, and 7 driven in. It's a 3-6, and that's another strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Jack Morris to start the ball game. And that'll bring up Joyner trying to make up for that 2-base error that cost his team 2 runs. Hitting 314, 6 homers, 14 driven in. 4-9 lefty. Line out to first base, snagged by Bergman. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris. And Fraser doesn't get a breath. He's got to come right back out and pitch again. You got very little breath. Good deal, Mr. Chris. Glad you got your dice tray. Hope you enjoy that. For me, it makes the dice rolling so much better. I don't have dice flying. Well, usually I don't have dice flying all over the place. Sometimes they jump, but most of the time they're all in one spot. All right, here is Sheridan. It's a 1-9, and that's a walk. That's not a good start for Fraser. Fraser may not last too long in this game. He was doing quite well. Came in 2-1 with a fine ERA, but that's changing all of a sudden. Here's Billy Bean. And let's see, is Sheridan. Yeah, Sheridan might be looking to get, well, he's not going to get the lead or try for the lead because he's out on an 11 or a 12. So they will just hold him there. He will have to be held on, or that guarantees the lead if they don't hold him on. So he will be held. And here's Billy Bean. It's a 5-6 left-handed. That's a 1 for a double. Anything else will be a single. So Fraser picking up where he left off last inning, in trouble. Runners on the corners with nobody out. And here's Lou Whitaker. Infield looking for the double play. They have to have outs. Nothing on the havoc. Here's Whitaker. He singled and scored his first time up. 5-10, and that's a ballpark blast. It's 1-12. That's an 8. It's gone. And that's going to probably be it for Fraser. He's now going to be tired. He's going to give up his 7th run of the game in just 1+ innings. And look at it again, 5-10, left-handed. It's a ballpark blast. Home runs are 1-12. That's an 8. And, of course, Whitaker has normal power. And that is gone. A 3-run shot for sweet Lou Whitaker, his 5th of the season. RBIs 14, 15, and 16. And it is 7-0 Tigers. And the Angel bullpen is working feverishly to get ready. Question is, who do they have down there to get ready? Somebody's going to have to eat some innings. Fraser is now tired. He's going to try to finish the... They'd like to get him at least through this inning if possible, but they may have to go to the bullpen early and often. Let's see who they have has some length to them. Cook actually is their long relief man. So Mike Cook is loosing in the bullpen. He does have a 3 for relief rating. So Mike Cook might be the guy who is entrusted with eating some innings. Right now it's 7-0. Top of the second, still nobody out. And the guy who homered his first time up is Alan Trammell. And he's back again. That's a 3-6, and that's a 1-7 single, but that's a 17, so he lines it to Schofield, and there's one away. Here's Darrell Evans. Evans reached on the 2-base error by Joyner his first time. 3-10, and that's a ballpark blast, and that's gone. 3-10, ballpark blast. 1-12, that's a 10. It's gone. Darrell Evans goes deep. Home run number 4. RBI number 8. It's now 8-0 Tigers. Willie Fraser, they can't get ready fast enough in the bullpen. Willie Fraser just getting beaten pillar to post. That'll bring up Noakes. 1-8 for Noakes, and that's a ground ball to short. 2 down. And here comes Chet Lemon. 1-10, that's a ballpark single. 1-5, that's a 1. So it'll be a base hit. Hopefully I don't have the terrible D20 that comes up low all the time. I might switch out and go to the other white D20. Or heaven help us take the red D20. All right, here's Bergman. For 9, and that's a split chance. 1-4 is a single. That's a 19. It will be a line out to second base to finally end the inning. But another 4-score inning for the Tigers. And that's going to do it for poor Willie Fraser. Down goes Fraser, as somebody once famously said. So Fraser is done, and we'll get the gory details on him from the Strat computer. He's going to go 2 innings, give up 8 runs. I believe 6 of them are earned. We'll double check it. Yep, 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts, but 4 home run balls. Home runs to Trammell, Noakes, Evans, and Whitaker. The numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 hitters all have home runs in this game. Hello, Dice. Good to see you. I don't remember seeing you before, but welcome aboard. If you have been here before and didn't recognize you, I apologize. All right, so new pitcher for the Angels going forward will be Mike Cook. he will come in and pitch the third inning and go as far as he can go, basically. But right now, Jack Morris is going to enjoy his 8-0 lead, and almost certainly going to improve his record to 2-3, barring catastrophe. All right, so Doug DeSensei will lead things off. You can see the Tigers have almost had all their players bat twice, where the Angels have only had 3 batters come to plate, period. So 17 plate appearances to 3 right now. All right, here's DeSensei. 5-4 against Morris is another strikeout. Morris just seems to be determined to be in control today, or tonight, as the case may be. Here's Jack Howell, 271 average, 2 homers, 9 driven in. 2-3, and that's a ballpark single, 1-5, but that's an 18. So he will line it to Whitaker at second for out number 2. That'll bring up Dick Schofield, shortstop. He is hitting .203, no homers, 8 driven in. 2-9, and that is a ground ball to short. Trammell, easy play. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris. So the Angels go quietly. It is now 8-0 after 2. And again, hoping to get a close game, but sometimes the dice have other ideas. Hello, Phoenix. Mike Cook is now going to come into the ball game for the Angels, and we'll get his replay numbers. And the Angels are going to hope that he can eat some innings. Cook on the replay, 1-0, 386 earned run average, 12 innings pitched, 9 hits, 11 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So they are hoping he can at least go 3 innings. That's their goal. Get him to the 6th inning, then the regular bullpen can take over from there. Here's Brookins, 4-8, and that's a ground ball to third. Nice play by DeSensei. 1 down. And that's going to bring up Pat Sheridan. That's a 2-11, and that's a line out to first. So Joyner snags it. 2 down. Now things have calmed down since Fraser's gotten out of there. Here's Bean. Whoop. One die didn't go through. Let's try again. 1-6, and that's a single for Bill Bean. He's 2 for 3. Here's Whitaker. So 6-3 lefty. That's a ballpark blast. 1-12, but that's a 20. So it's going to be a deep fly to right field to end the inning. So that time the D20 was in Cook's favor. Fraser's wondering why it wasn't in his favor earlier, but that's just the way it goes. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 8-0. And we've had a couple Tigers bat 3 times, and there's a couple guys on the Angels have not had an at bat yet. That's how bad it's been. So coming up for the Angels, it'll be Darryl Miller, the catcher. Miller on the replay hitting .250, 7 out of 28. No homers, 3 driven in. 4-2. It's a ground ball back to Morris. Easy play. 1 away. And here's Gary Pettis. Pettis hitting .333. No homers, 11 driven in. 3-6, and that's a walk. First base runner for the Angels. But down 8-0, they are not going to have Pettis run. Even though it's probably a easy chance, but just when it's 8-0, neither side should be running. So here's McLemore. 6-5, switch hitter batting left. That's an in-home run chance on a 1. Anything else, he flies to right. So McLemore will fly it to right field. Hauled in by Sheridan, 2 down. For Brian Downey, he struck out Victim his first time up. 6-5, and that is a 1-7 triple, 8-20 double. That's in 16, so it will be a single 2 stars. Single 2 stars. 1-7 was a triple, and a 6-5, and 8-20 is a single. So single 2 stars. First hit of the game for the Angels. Puts runners on the corners with 2 outs for Devon White. Clutch situation for Devon White. He is anti-clutch on 2-8 and 2-11. As a 2-2, and he's hit by the pitch. So he gets plunked to load the bases. And that'll give us over to Wally Joyner. I'll tell you what, Joyner puts one in the seats. We got a brand new ball game, and things are a lot closer. 2-7, and he didn't put it in the seats, but he is going to get a base hit. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single. 2 RBI single for Wally absorbing Joyner, scoring Pettis and Downing. White takes third base. And all of a sudden now it's 8-2. Which is still pretty bad, but it was better than 8-0. All right, here's the Sensei. To 11, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. 6-4, fielder's choice. Trammell to his buddy Whitaker to retire the side. But 2 runs come in for California. At the end of 3, it is 8-2 Tigers. Hello, Mr. RJL. And second inning of work from Mike Cook. Cook did well in the 3rd inning, trying to keep that going in the 4th. Here's Trammell. 6-7, and that's a walk. So Trammell aboard on a walk. And, of course, with the score being what it is, we're not going to try for any leads or anything like that. They will hold him on, but they're not going to try for any leads. 1-4 for Evans. Well, you don't need a lead right here. 1-4 for Evans. That is long, and that is gone. No doubt about it. No ballpark effect needed. That's solid home run for Evans, the 2nd of the game. A 2-run blast. 3rd run batted in for Evans. His 5th on the season. 2-run shot. Trammell will score in front of him. And all of a sudden it is 10-2. So those 2 runs California got in the bottom of the inning are quickly erased. Matt Noakes, the batter. 1-8 for Noakes is a ground ball to short. 1 away. Hoping for a close game, but, you know, sometimes the dice have other ideas. Lemons 2 for 2. 5-10, ground ball 3rd base X. That is going to be to Sensei. He's a 3. 3 and a 10. He should get to that. 3 and a 10 is a G2, and he is an E23. Got to avoid 11, 13, 3, 15, and 18. 11, 13, 3, 15, and 18. And that is an 11, so he is, let's say he was an E23. 11 is right there, so we got an error on DeSensei. When it rains, it pours. There you go. Error on DeSensei. E1, or E5 in this case. 1 base error. 2nd error of the game on the Angels. Joyner had 1, and now DeSensei says, since you got 1, I want 1 too. So he gets it. Here's Bergman. Oh, hopping dice. Let's re-roll that. 5-10, and that's ground ball 3rd base X. Well, you know what? We're going to give DeSensei another try. 3 to 10, same thing. 3 to 10 is a G2, I believe. Yep, so it's going to be a fielder's choice as long as there's no error. He's got to avoid that 11. And this time it is a 13. E13, I'm sorry, E23 and a 13. And there it is right there. So the sensei boots it again. Second time in a row. Second batter in a row. We have, I don't think I've ever had that before, where one player makes back-to-back errors. He found the 11. This time he found the 13. Third error of the game on the Angels. Another E5 on the Sensei. And Gene Mock doesn't know what to think. All Sparky can do is laugh, but he's not letting the Angels see it. Here's Brookins. Oh, you're right. Did I say? Yeah, that's right. The catcher made one, but it wasn't on the score sheet because it was a foul ball. You're right. That is the fourth error on the Angels because made one on a foul pop-up. You are so right about that. Whoa. Man. Come on. 4-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop C. That's one of those rare shortstop Cs. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but it happens on some of these cards. That will advance the runners. They will go to second and third on the ground ball to short. So 2 down, and Sheridan is your batter. This game is not for the faint of heart, apparently. 3-6, and that's a single to center field for Sheridan. That will score Lemon from third. Bergman was not being held at second, makes him a 12. 2 outs makes him a 14. Single to center. Pettis is a +1, makes it a 15. You gotta send him, and they gotta throw for him. 1-15, he's safe, and he is. And Sheridan will take second base on the throw. But it's a 2-run single. Both these runs unearned because of the double error by the Sensei. And the score is now 12-2. Cook taking one for the teams, trying to eat as many innings as he can, save the bullpen. Here's Dean. 1-7. That's a single to left field, and that will probably score the run. Sheridan's a 16, not being held as a 17. 2 outs makes him a 19. The single went to left. Howell's a +2. They're just going to score without even making a throw. The only way he's out is on a 20. So it is now 13-2. And here comes Whitaker. Six-8. 6-8's a single to right field. That'll send Bean. Actually, let's see. Right field, Devon White's -3. They will hold Bean at second base. But now they batted around as we are back to the original leadoff man of the inning. That being Trammell, who walked to start this whole. Leadoff walk will lead to that much, but obviously it has. Four, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-5. That's a 16, so he's going to fly to left and mercifully end the inning. So 5 runs for the Tigers, and they take a 13-2 lead on the Angels. And Jack Morris just in cruise control at this point. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you. Like I said, unfortunately not a close game, but things like that do happen. Can't always have barn burners. Powell, 5-8. Another strikeout from Morris. For Morris, that is strikeout number 4. Brings up Dick Schofield. 5-6, and that's another strikeout. Strikeout number 5 from Morris. He obviously came ready to play tonight. Maybe the karma of the thumbnail is right up with Morris's alley. 3-6, and that's a walk. 2-out walk, but that shouldn't amount to much, you wouldn't think. Here is Pettis. Gary Pettis. 2-8 for Pettis, and he's going to strike out. Strikeout number 6 for Morris. He strikes out the side. And at the end of 4, it is 13-2 Tigers. If Tabby was up here, she'd be very happy right now. All right, top of the 5th, it'll be Darrell Evans. He's homered twice. (6-9), that's a 1-8. I'm sorry, 1-16 single. That's a 15. Good enough. Whoops, wrong spot. I need to be over here. See what happens when we have batting around. It screws me up. All right, so a single for Evans, and that brings up Noakes. 110 for Noakes, and that's a ballpark blast. That's a 17, so luckily for Cook, it is merely a deep fly to right field. Almost another dinger. But D20 was kind that time. So it'll bring up Lemon. 2-7, and that's a single to right field. Single to right field. Evans, slow runner, and White good arm, so Evans will hold at second base. 13-2, there's no sense pushing the envelope for anything. Here's Bergman. 6-8, and that's a single to right field. That's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded. And now Cook is tired. 17th hit by the Tigers already in the 5th inning. 13 runs and 17 hits. And we're only in the 5th inning. Here's Brookins with the bases loaded and 1 out. Playing back for the double play. That's a 5-3. It's a ground ball pitcher. And he is an E0. He's a 2 E0. So we'll see what happens. We know he doesn't make the error, but what about the result? 15. Now the pitcher is always assumed to be playing in. So 15. Oops. 15 on a 2 for a pitcher is a G1. So if I figure this out right, it should be a 1-2-3 double play. Let's see here. G1. Where are you, G1? There you are. Bases loaded, infield in is a double play. 1-2-3. Certainly is. So that's going to end the inning on a 1-2-3 double play. And that'll do it for Fraser. So he catches a break there. But we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 13-2. And we'll get the gory numbers on Fraser. He's going to go on Cook. He's going to go 3 innings. We'll see what damage was done in 3 innings. 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 were earned, 1 walk and no strikeouts. Tigers have not struck out yet this game. So Cook is done, and nobody's raising their hand in the Angel bullpen to come out and volunteer to pitch the 6th. But somebody's going to have to draw the short straw, because somebody's got to do it. So bottom of the 6th we go. Mark McLemore, the batter. 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That is Bean. He's a 2. E6. 2-12, we'll get to that. E6 as an outfielder. E6. as an outfielder. E6. He's got to avoid 3, 4, 14, 17, and 18. Which he does. That's an 11, so it's a good play for Bean. He will retire McLemore, 1 away. Takes us to the top of the order and Brian Downing. Let me see something here. Get a little bit more brightness on here, hopefully. All right, so Downing. Maybe that will help the Angels. I don't know. I doubt it. 5-6. Now it's a strikeout. That didn't help him at all. Downing out on strikes, and here is Devon White. That is 7 strikeouts now for Morris. 3-10, and that's a fly to right field, hauled in by Sheridan, and it's another 1, 2, 3 inning for Jack Morris. So we played 5, and it is still 13-2. Now the question is, who is going to come in and pitch for the Angels? Do they have anybody that needs work? Anybody that hasn't pitched in a while, I guess, is the question. They're going to go with Dwayne Miami Bice. Dwayne, I was told it's pronounced Bice, not Weiss. So we will go with that pronunciation. Dwayne Bice will be the pitcher for the Angels. He will come in and pitch the 6th inning. He's got a relief rating of 3 also, so they would like him to. They don't expect him to complete the game, but maybe at least get him to the 8th inning would be nice. So Weiss. Get the numbers on Weiss. On Bice, rather, I should say. I keep wanting to call him Weiss, but it is Bice. On the replay for Bice, he is 1-0 with a save and a 0 ERA, 5 innings pitched, no hits, a walk and 6 strikeouts. So excellent pitching for Bice, but this, the way the Tigers are hitting, that can certainly mess up his ERA. 6-7, and that's a walk, so that's not a good start. Sheridan draws the base on balls. And that'll bring up Bill Bean. It's a 1-9 for Bean. That's a single, 2 stars. It's going to put runners at the corners. Nobody out, and the Tigers are back at it again. And if Gene Mock had a white flag in the dugout, he'd probably be waving it right now. But there is no 10-run rule in the major leagues. Here's Whitaker. 111 for Whitaker. Ground ball shortstop B. That'll get the fielder's choice, but the run will score as they were back for the double play. So a 6-4 fielder's choice. And the Tigers put on another run. Making it 14-2. It'll bring up Trammell. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. Here's Evans. He's had 2 home runs and a single. 5-3 is a fly ball left field X. That's Howell. He's a 4. That could be trouble. 4 in the outfield. Yep, 4 and a 5 is definitely trouble. A 4 and a 5 is going to be a single, 2 stars. That'll move Whitaker to third base. Evans with his 4th hit of the game. And Howell is an E4. So we have to avoid 4, 3, 15, and 18. Which they do. But now runners are on the corners with 2 outs for Matt Noakes. This is definitely one of those games where if I was playing on the computer, I would do the auto sim the rest of the way, but can't do that in cards and dice. 3-8, and that's going to be a split chance. 1 to 10's a single. Of course, that's a 5. You knew it had to be. That scores another run. It's 15-2. RBI single for Noakes. It's 15-2. Brings up Chet Lemon. 5-8. That's a strikeout to end the inning. But 2 more runs come across for the Tigers. And unfortunately for the Angels, they are just being handled pillar to post. As we go to the bottom of the 6th. And the bad part for the Angels is the home team. They got to pitch 9 innings. They don't even get the break of not having to pitch the bottom of the 9th as a visiting team getting blown away. So they got to cover everything. Here's Joyner. 4-8, and that is another strikeout from Morris. That is strikeout number 8 for Jack Morris. Here's the sensei. 4-6, and that's another strikeout. Strikeout number 9 for Morris. And that'll take us to Jack Howell. I really thought this would be a close game when I saw it on the schedule, but obviously it's not happening that way. 4-10, fly ball center field X. That is Chet Lemon. He's a 2. 2-12, he'll get to it. He's an E4. E4 and a 10. I know there's no 10 on E4, so he's going to make the play. I don't have to look. 10s are hardly ever errors. Yeah, it has to be 3, 4, 15, or 18 to be an error, so that was not the case. So 3 up and 3 down go the Angels. We've heard that tune before. We go to the top of the 7th. Bice back out for a second inning of work. Facing Bergman. 5-6, and that's a strikeout. Not tired yet. That'll bring up Brookins. 4-6, and that's another strikeout. So Bice is getting the Ks, but damage has long since been done. Here's Sheridan. 1-12, that's a foul out to Miller behind the plate. So finally, the first 1-2-3 inning of the game turned in by Angel pitching is turned in by Weiss. And it makes the score still 15-2 as we go to the 7th inning stretch. And for Morris, his fatigue does not start till the 8th, so he's in good shape. Schofield will lead off this bottom of the 7th. It's amazing 14 people are still here watching this blowout. 2-10 is a fly to center field. I know why they're still here. They're just waiting for that one possible moment that might come up in the game where my brilliant managing is on display. But in a score like this, it's kind of hard to manage. 1-9, and that is a split chance. 1-6 nope, it's going to be a line out to short. Out number 2. And it's going to bring up Gary Pettis. 3-3, and that's a fly to center. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris. And we go to the 8th. Bice back out. I'm going to move him over here to make more room on the score sheet. It'll be Bean, unless the Tigers want to. I think the Tigers are going to go to their bench, start emptying the bench, using some bench players, give them some at-bats. So Johnny Grubb will be the first one to hit. So Grubb, and he'll stay in the game to play left field. So my hometown guy, John Grubb from Richmond, Virginia, local boy, is going to get a chance. See what he can do. Bean was 4 for 5 on the game. That's just tells you how bad it was for the Angels to let somebody like him go 4 for 5. Grubb on the replay is hitting a .195 in 41 at bats. No homers, 4 driven in. 4-7, and he's going to hit a ground ball to shortstop X. That is Schofield. He's a 2E12. 2 and a 6. That's right on the fringe, but I think he's going to get to it. 2 and a 6. Yes, he does. G2. Error rating is an E12, so he's got to avoid 15, 3, and 18. And at the 5, it's a rare play. How about that? Just what we needed, a rare play. And it was a G2 rare play. So G2 rare play, batter lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher, the fielder makes the play to first. So it's one of those not so rare plays. So it's going to go, I guess, technically 1 to 6 to 3. On the not so rare play. Now, who's going to come up? Well, do you pinch hit for Whitaker or Trammell is the question. They might, but they don't really have anybody play second base, I don't think. Unless they want to move Brookins back there. I think you're going to let Whitaker and Trammell, I think you keep them in the game. I don't think you pinch hit for them. I think those are 2 guys that earn the at-bats. So we'll let them stay in there. Whitaker is 3 for 5 with a home run. 1-9, and he's going to ground it to third. 2 down. For Trammell. 1 for 4. That one was a home run. 1-8, and that's a single to center field, make him 2 for 5. That is hit number 21 for the Tigers to go with their 15 runs. And here's Evans, man, who's hit 2 home runs. He's 4 for 5 with 2 home runs. So we're definitely not taking him out. Got to give him a chance to get a third one. 4-6, but he strikes out instead to end the inning. So Bice is doing quite well since coming in, at least comparatively speaking. New left fielder for the Tigers will be John Grubb. Let's see if there's any other moves to be made. Looks like Mike Heath. Is it going to be Heath or is it going to be Mercado? That's going to be Heath. Mike Heath is going to come on and catch for Matt Noakes. Let's see here. Sheridan will move from right field to center field. And Terry Harper will take over in right field. All right, so let's make these changes on the score sheet. Sheridan now is in center field. Let's see. Harper is going to come in here and play right. Heath is your new catcher. I think, and of course, staying in the game to play left field is Grubb. All right. Bottom of the 8th we go. So that means Heath will lead off next inning instead of Noakes. It'll be Heath Then it'll be Harper. So Heath, Harper, and Bergman are the hitters in the top of the ninth for the Tigers. Right now, bottom of the eighth, Macklemore. Do the Angels want to clear their bench and maybe give somebody some at-bats? We shall see. They only have 3 guys on the bench, though, so they're limited on the bench. They do have Gus Polidor. So they're going to give Gus Polidor an at-bat in place of Macklemore. So Polidor will pinch hit for Macklemore just to give him an at-bat. Polidor will pinch hit in the 8th and play second base in the 9th. Gus Polidor. So Polidor, we'll get the numbers on him. I don't think he's had a lot of at-bats. Well, they have 4 guys on the bench, actually, because Butch Weiniger came back. He was out for a while, but he's back, according to the Strat computer. So I do have him available if need be. Polidor hitting 200. He's 1 for 5. No homers or runs driven in. 2-5, and that's a line out to second base. Snagged by Whitaker, 1 away. And Downing is up, but they're going to give Downing, they're going to let somebody else hit for Downing. Mark Ryle is going to hit for Downing and stay in the game to play DH. So Mark Ryle, left-handed hitter, coming in for the Angels. Ryle is hitting 111. He's 1 for 9. No homers or runs driven in. It's a 1-7. He's going to strike out. So Ryle is out on strikes, and now Rupert Jones is up. He will hit for Devon White. Jones, rather. And he'll stay in the game to play right field in the 9th. Rupert Jones. This is Morris' fatigue inning, but he's gotten the first 2 outs, so not struggling at all. Seems like he got a lot of juice still left. Rupert Jones hitting 240. 2 homers, 3 driven in. 3-6, and he's going to fly to center field. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris. So we go to the 9th. And we'll make the defensive changes. Polidor stays in the game to play second. Rupert Jones stays in the game to play right. And Bice is going to try to finish it out for the Angels and save their bullpen. He is in his 4th inning of work. For the Tigers, it'll be Mike Heath. His first at bat. Heath on the replay hitting 207. No homers and a run driven in. Whoop, that one didn't go through. Let's redo that. 4-8 for Bice, and he struck him out. So Bice is still going. Strikes out Heath. Brings up Terry Harper. Harper hitting 083 and 24 at bats. No homers, 2 driven in. 3-7. He's going to strike out. So Bice picking up the strikeouts big time, especially off the scrubs. And that'll bring up Bergman. Bergman will stay in the game to hit. 3-5, and he's going to ground it to first. And Bice does it. He gets him out of it and saves the rest of the bullpen. The Angels only used 3 pitchers in this blowout, which is definitely amazing. But they managed to do it. And now we'll go to the box score and get the numbers on Bice, who did, all things considered, pretty well. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. So Morris going for the complete game. He's got full endurance, and he's going to be facing Joyner, DeSensei, and Howell for the Angels here in the bottom of the ninth. Hello, Prague. Unfortunately, not a close game, Mr. Prague, but it happens. 110, ballpark single, 1-5. It's been that kind of night for the Angels, as it will be a ground ball to third. Next video on the channel will be out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, early, around lunchtime. Not sure when. It's pre-recorded. Red Sox and Seattle. Bruce Hurst against Scott Bankhead. Morris, 3-4, is a pop out to third for out number 2. And Jack Howell, the last of the Mohicans, so to speak. 3-4, and he grounds it to short, and that's going to do it. Jack Morris, a complete game victory, is they cruise to a 15-2 victory over the befuddled California Angels. Get the totals and everybody so we can see how they did. For Jack Morris, he is now 2-3 with the win. He gets the win to go to 2-3. 9 innings pitched. Only gave up 2 hits. How about that? And one of them they were both in the third inning. He walked, a hit by pitch, and 2 singles, and that was it. He didn't give up any hits. In 8 of the innings, he gave up no hits. How about that? 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. So there's a lot of offense. When your team scores 15 runs on 21 hits, you'd think you'd give the player of the game to a batter. But boy, it's kind of hard not to give it to Morris with his complete game. But I think you're going to have to give it to Evans. Evans went 4 for 6, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs. So I'm giving the player of the game to Darrell Evans. All right, so the final line score, 15 runs, 21 hits, and no errors. For the Angels, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 3, I'm sorry, it should be 4 errors because the one on Miller. I don't think the computer didn't register, so I want to add an error to Miller manually in the stats. I can do that on the Strat computer. I can add an error to him manually. Left on base, the Tigers left 11, and California left 3. So they left 11 guys on. It could have been a lot worse, obviously. Could have been a lot worse. But there you have it. Morris is the man. Jack Morris is the man. But to me, as I said earlier, in my opinion anyway, the player of the game, for my money, is Darrell Evans. So he gets the player of the game. Tigers improve to 9-12. California drops to 10-13. Fraser drops to 2-2. Fraser's ERA explodes to 5.82 because 6 of the runs were earned in 2 innings. Morris lowers his ERA to 4.30. Let's see. Evans 4 for 6. Whitaker 3 for 6 with 4 runs batted in. Bean 4 for 5. I don't think was the only one that didn't get a hit. The only starter who did not get a hit is Tom Brookins. He was 0 for 5. But everybody else did quite well. And of course, DeSensei making 2 errors didn't really help his cause either. But tough luck there for the Halos as they drop a game and fall further back. They are now 6.5 back of Oakland. Detroit wins and pulls to within 6 games of the first place Yankees. But Milwaukee and Oakland play the final game of April 30th. And if the Brewers win that game, then they will tie the Yankees exactly at 15-6. But it's going to be 16-6 Oakland against 14-6 Milwaukee. It'll be Dave Stewart against Bill Wegman will be the matchup there. No game for you tomorrow. Good. Okay, then I can maybe jump on a little bit earlier with the Milwaukee and Seattle game. I'll try to jump on around 7:30, 7 to 7:30. Probably sometime between 7 and 7:30. I'll jump on. And for people that came in late, I was just kind of messing around using baseball cards to introduce the lineups. Just add a little aesthetics just to be silly. Got these old '88 Flieger cards that aren't worth anything, but I kept them around just because the baseball cards I collect, it's just for my hobby. It's not for monetary. I'm not worried about what they're graded. I don't keep them in fancy stuff or whatever, but this is just from my memories of the '80s. So that is that. So I do appreciate all you guys who stuck around through this debacle of a humongous. This has got to be a record: 15 runs and 21 hits for my replay. I think that's the high watermark on both. I'm not sure 4 errors might be the high mark for California as well. It's hard to tell. But anyway, that's going to do it from here. Tomorrow night, since Robert said he's going to take the night off before his next round of the playoffs, before his final week begins, I should say. It'll begin on Friday. Not the playoffs, but the playoff run, the final week of the regular season. Before that starts, since he's off tomorrow doing that, then we will be tomorrow night around 7:15, 7:30ish. It'll be Milwaukee against Oakland. Again, Dave Stewart for the A's against Bill Wegman for the Brewers. Let's get the numbers just off the top of my head here and see how they're doing. Bill Wegman for the Brewers is 2-0 with a 4.62 earned run average in 4 starts. And let's see what Dave Stewart is doing. Stewart is 2-1 with a 2.64 in 4 starts. So they'll both be making their 5th start of the season. And once that game's over, we will finish the month of April in the replay. We'll make it through the first full month. Well, not full month because we started a couple days into April, but you know what I mean. The first month of the season will be in the books, which means that after that game's over, I will do a separate video, short one, hopefully, with the league leaders, standings, and the whole 9 yards printed out so you're able to see it. And then after that, we'll start on Saturday probably with an History Maker game between Cincinnati and St. Louis, and then maybe that evening we'll start the May 1 block of games. First game on the docket for that is the White Sox and the Orioles in Baltimore. It'll be Bannister against McGregor. That's the first game from May the 1st. So that's a look ahead. Don't forget, in several weeks, the NBC Game of the Week will kick off at the first part of April. I think it's April 8th or 9th, something like that. And it will be on season ticket baseball. So between now and then, offline, I've got to practice up on my season ticket baseball. I have not played that game in months, so I need to basically either watch. I'm going to do a combination of watching some videos and playing the game myself. And that way in April, I can hit the ground running without hopefully any snafus. So first game will be the Yankees in Texas. It'll be Ron Guidry. His start, that great year he had in 1978, he will get the start for the Yankees in Texas. That'll be the opening Saturday game of the week. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.